November 11, 2020, and we are watching the fall of the Republic if they can get away with it. I think that obviously the founding fathers, when they wrote the Constitution, could never have imagined electronic voting machines, which were only put in place for one reason. There's only one reason to use a machine to count the vote, and that's to steal the election. There's literally no other reason to do it. It never should have been done, and they need to smash all those machines and get rid of them. Nevertheless, we have had an insane amount of election fraud all over the country, and there is information that 2.7 million votes. I mean, I feel like doing the Austin Powers thing. 2.7 million votes have been stolen from Trump, either just subtracted or changed to Biden. I don't know the veracity of this information for sure. We just have to give that a little bit more time to come out. Most of what you're seeing come out, however, it's true. Almost everything you're seeing come out is true. Not the watermark information, as I've already told some people. The watermark information is disinformation, and the source for that needs to never be listened to again. I mean, I called that out the moment he opened his mouth and said that, and I'm very irritated that people do that. But I can't control who somebody brings onto their show and what they let them say, or maybe they just run off at the mouth like it's diarrhea. Maybe they just have a big ego and they want to feel important. I don't know. But it's bunk. So anyone thinking the election is going to be instant, I mean, it's Q type disinformation. I call it false hope disinformation. You're deceived into believing that everything's going to be okay, and so you should sit around and do nothing. No. What you should do is you should be at the tabulation centers, you should be at the capitals, you should be heading to Washington, D.C. You need to be doing what activists do. Being active. Fortunately, over the years, we have laid a very solid network of activists that are pretty much everywhere, pretty much all the time. And, technology is a double-edged sword, and they just got sliced. The various people that have cell phones in the tabulation centers and are coming out as whistleblowers, as witnesses, signing sworn affidavits, the court cases that are piling up. But as I said when I started, the problem is the founding fathers never could have imagined this amount of voter fraud. They never could have imagined it. So is there time to straighten it out? If there's not, are we just going to have the state vote? States vote one per one. Each state gets one vote. There's issues here. People think this is a for sure winning thing for Trump. Here's the problem. Some states can basically just say, look, we're not going to have anything to do with it. So, for instance, take the state of, Georgia's going to do a hand recount. They're going to get it figured out to some extent. Take Pennsylvania. Trump won Pennsylvania. Everybody knows Trump won Pennsylvania. They can still go on December 14th and say, we're really not 100% sure which way Pennsylvania went, and so we're not doing it. We're not putting up any electoral votes. We're not doing the delegate thing. We're just going to do nothing because we don't know 100% for sure who won. And if the right states do that, the criminal Biden can still get in there. This wolf just don't want to listen today. It's been a long time since I gave him some freedom like this. Back! Can't blame him. And speaking of freedom, this may be the most freedom that we ever have. And some people might think that's hyperbole. I remember getting on an airplane when I was younger, before 9/11. I don't remember anybody searching me for anything. You could just get on the airplane. I don't even remember a metal detector. I might have that part wrong, or maybe that varied by airport. But after 9/11, that freedom that was stolen from the people, even though the TSA has not caught a single terrorist, that freedom's gone forever and it's never coming back. The same will be true of the freedom that the people lose in relation to the fake pandemic, the freedom that the people lose after this criminal Biden is elected, if he is, or I shouldn't even say elected, if he is, let's quote Ruth Bader Ginsburg, if he is installed. That's what she said in her dying wish. She said, I want, what was her stupid dying wish? This woman is so evil, she manages to be evil from the grave. Back! November 11th. Al Gore conceded December 13th because he knew he was not going to be the winner when they did the delegate thing or whatever it's called. He knew he couldn't win that. So he conceded December 13th. Is that what we're going to see Biden do? And how can he do that after the evil New World controlled mainstream media has appointed him the winner, projected him as the winner? He's winning. Every time you look on Facebook, election information. Nobody can. There's no such thing as voter fraud now. Even though 4 years ago it was Russian meddling, Russian meddling, Russian meddling, Russian meddling. They beat that drum 24/7. Well, now you know who the Russians are. And we are blocked, banned, and censored like you've never seen before. Yesterday, for about 2 hours, all of YouTube was completely down. And you know what? It wasn't just YouTube. It was also BitChute and some other video sites, which is very indicative of the notion that we can't trust them. Why would those video sites go down at the same time as YouTube unless it was the same issue? And I don't care if it was a hack. I don't care if it was an upgrade. I don't care what it was. It was the same issue, meaning these video sites are tied together. Which is logical if you are, for instance, creating BitChute. You're like, oh, well, you know, I got to have these servers and I got to do this and I got to have all this bandwidth and it's going to cost a ton of money. How about we just talk to YouTube and see if they'll give us 1/millionth of their bandwidth for a certain amount of money? Oh, it turns out that only costs 1/8 as much money. So we're just secretly using YouTube's website. And I'm not only a computer programmer, I've done web design. You can make a site look like another site when it's actually just pages embedded in a different site. I'm not even going to go into all that. But it's not like when you go to your friend's house and they have an address and you show up and it's a different physical house in a different physical place. That's not how the internet works. Not at all. And that's why you have all these schmucks talking about their Facebook page. That's my Facebook page. It's not your page. It's facebook.com/something that ends up being you. It's facebook.com. Same website, and they own it. And it's a corporation. I don't have a lot to say right now because there's so much information coming out. The Dominion voting machines, clearly and obviously, I'm not even using the word hacked. They were designed to do this, okay? They were not created as special purpose voting machines that cannot have the code altered. If they created a voting machine that was fair, it would be a special purpose machine with code on a microchip that cannot be changed. That's not what they did. They created a computer that can literally be reprogrammed. Meaning, from the beginning, when they created the electronic voting machines, they intended to steal elections. And it's not just us. It's not just us. What do you think was going on after, oh, we freed Iraq, and they're all going around with the green thumb. Oh, we voted. No. I can't believe, but you know, people just sit around and they watch trash on television. They let the television vomit filth into their living rooms. That's all they do. So of course they don't know anything. Hey, buddy. Don't lick my coffee. No, what are you doing now? Come on. I'm trying to make a video here. Belly down. Don't go too far. Number one, stay calm. Don't freak out. The founding fathers have this under control. And I'm telling you what, it is... there's two things I'm really amazed by. Two things I'm really fascinated by. One is the human body. Because I live my life... Again, Austin Powers. Like to live dangerously. I've broken bones. I've broken a lot of bones. More than I can remember. Because, if I'm going snowboarding... I'm not following all these safety tips. Get on your board and etch it down sideways. No. I'm pointing that shit straight downhill. And man, you see that powder coming out. And I feel like I'm in a Wrigley Spearmint gum commercial or something. And of course, that ends badly every time. But I didn't break a bone snowboarding. Point is, I have seen the human body heal from things that... It's just amazing. Like right now, I'm wondering if I can ever do pull-ups again because I was missing most of my left shoulder blade after the motorcycle accident. I need to go have an x-ray. I don't know how this works. I mean, there's a part this big missing from the shoulder blade. Did it just grow back? I mean, I feel pretty healthy. I can move it. It cracks a little bit or makes some sounds, but did that hole fill in? Is it safe for me to do pull-ups? That's the question. Is there some kind of memory in the bone that causes it to fill in where it's missing? I mean, cavemen didn't go to the hospital and, see a doctor and get screws put on their bones, did they? And yeah, sometimes they just died, but... The other thing that is amazing is the Constitution, the United States Constitution. And if these other countries that have these overthrows, especially if they were legitimate, which pretty much none of them are, it's New World Order. If they were smart, they would literally take the United States Constitution, copy it, and paste it onto a new paper and call it their Constitution. The Founding Fathers have this under control. There's backups for the backups. They saw it coming. Of course somebody's going to try and steal the election, and they were well aware. If we're going to be destroyed, it's going to come from within. They stated that. More than one of them stated it more than once. So basically they knew this was going to happen and they prepared for it. It doesn't matter how the votes come out. It doesn't even matter how the votes come out because they're still going to do this delegation thing. Our game right now might be to just delay. Find election fraud, churn it up, get all the election fraud, present all the evidence, present the lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit, take it to the courts, have it delay, and then they get a one-on-one vote. California gets one vote, Texas gets one vote, everybody gets one vote, and then Trump wins. Period. End of story. Back. If we make it through this, and I don't know that we will, this is the clash of titans right now. This is the clash of titans. This is the New World Order trying to we've had, tyrants in there. Obama. Of course, he's going to talk smooth. It's called a velvet glove. You dumbass, get over here. Stuck on the other side of the barbed wire fence. But Biden is out there, and he has been for a while, talking about we're going to have a dark winter. Now he's saying we're going to have a very dark winter since he's pretending he's the president-elect. We're going to have a very dark winter now. I mean, they're putting it right in your face. They're basically spitting in your face and saying, you better fight for your freedom now, or we're going to destroy you. We are going to destroy you. And we're telling you that right now. Very dark winter. What's that mean? Going to release something truly deadly over the winter? Because that's what, activists, that's what we hear. That's what we hear. A very dark winter means a lot of people dying from disease throughout the winter. And not COVID-19. Because that's just a flu. It's a good time to be sighting in your rifles. Remember, swords never run out of ammunition. Distance weapons are preferable. Yeah, I mean, we could have total civil war. Hopefully not. But if we do, you know, one side's got 8 trillion bullets and the other side don't know which bathroom to use. I mean, I've been telling you for months. Scroll down my videos 2-3 months ago. Prepare for civil war. Literally, it's a video that says, prepare for civil war. And it's a picture of a neighborhood on fire. Because that's what's coming. That's what's coming. Your neighborhood on fire. I ended one of my videos. I literally said, I hope you have a fire extinguisher. And that was the end of the video. I don't want to be right, okay? I've said it before. I don't want to be right. I want to be free. I don't want to be right about any of these things. I want us to be free. But you see where it's gone. You see what's happened. Those of us who warned that they were going to steal this election are beyond right. Beyond right. Those of us who've been warning there's going to be a civil war. Actually, I'm not sure how many people have been saying that until very recently. We don't want to be right about that. We do not want to be right about that. That means interruptions of the supply chains, food shortages. That's where they're going to hit you, okay? There's your dark winter. Just the trucks aren't rolling. You think it's bad when you can't find toilet paper? Wait till you can't find bread. Back! Sorry. I don't want to be right. I want to be free. That means we're going to fight for our freedom. You're going to fight for your freedom. You're not going to have it. And it may separate us into two groups. The people who fight for their freedom and have it, and the people who don't fight for their freedom and are hopelessly enslaved to the system. Hey, buddy. The best wolf on the planet. Go back, go play. He's not a wolf. For the record. We'll call him a Northern Inuit. I mean, I might have to go without my super awesome cold brew coffee if we have a civil war. Get to sleep in the forest. You can, you know, take some coffee. Take that like Taster's Choice super light instant coffee. It's not going to taste good, but I mean, that's what I do when I'm backpacking. Don't even stop and sit down and cook coffee. That's a waste of time, a waste of energy, and a waste of resources. Just take 2 tablespoons of that Taster's Choice, put it in your mouth while you're backpacking. What about all them people that have been reenacting the Civil War all these years? Are they going to be like, hey, now we get to do it for real? If this happens, they will probably fake the entire thing. What people will believe is a civil war, it'll be a fake civil war or a fake revolution, which is more likely. And that's what Antifa, BLM, the Sunshine Movement, Sunrise Movement, that's what this is. They put people in place in order to create the perception that there is a revolution, to create the perception that there's an uprising. So that when they change your government, you're like, well, this is because of that uprising. Get your nose away from the camera. Seriously. Go lay down. So when they change your government, they say, well, that's because of that uprising. So now we have a new constitution that just doesn't happen to have a Second Amendment. You know, we can't have guns anymore because now we have a new government because of that uprising. Because of the revolution. You know, you might be 84 years old and just watching CNN or MSNBC and you see it play out and you're like, yeah, well, we still have a constitution. Just lost a couple of them rights. And I had to turn all my guns in. But the reality is none of it ever happened. They just took over your government from the inside like parasites. Faked a revolution and threw the Constitution in the toilet. That's how they do it. That's how they do it. They fake a revolution. It's called a color revolution. Started by Optor, O-P-T-O-R. This has been going on for decades. I've been teaching about it for 15 years. And you know what? In the video of me on the Bullhorn at Bilderberg in 2013 in Chantilly, Virginia, I literally explained all this and said, and I quote, and now they're doing it here. 7 years ago or 8 years ago, I stated that, and now they're doing it here. And now they are. And now everyone can see it. Now everyone can see it, even if they cannot understand it. I'm out for now. Death to the New World Order.